Hi, my name is Alexus Rivera. I go to Kepner Middle School. I am an 8th grader. I went to Washington, D.C. and just recently came back from Europe. I guess you are probably wondering what teens from a poor neighborhood on the west side might have to tell you about the Holocaust. I hope by the end of all our speeches, you can see that we have a lot to say about what we learned. I would like to tell you what I learned and how it affected me. One thing I learned is that the Nazis tried to reach the children, especially teenage boys, to get them to join them. They told the children that the Jews are bad and that it is their fault for the bad things in Germany. They made it seem like the Nazis were cool, popular, and all that. From this, I learned to be careful of what seems to be cool and popular in my life. I see how gangs today try to do the same thing. It's easy to look at a cool group of teens in a gang and want to be a part of it. I know now to think before joining the gang. Another thing I read about the power of angry mothers. Miss Olson gave us something to read when we studied the boycott of 1933. The Nazis tried to close a Jewish grocery store. They stood in the front of it and not let people in. There was a whole group of mothers who always shopped there, and they were mad because they couldn't shop. The Nazis were afraid of these angry women and finally left and let them shop in the store. Think of the power the moms had. What if more people did that? I know how my mom is when she's mad. There's a lot of power there. The Nazis humiliated the Jews and took away the things that made them individuals. Wearing the Star of David, making them shop in certain times, not letting them swim or ride bikes or go to the movies or go to school were all the ways to make them seem less than human. They even marked their property with yellow stars and finally took it away. From all this, I learned to be careful when I judge people, especially people who are different from me. The Nazis took an old hatred and made people think the Jews were bad. Even though this is terrible, what might be even worse is that it continues today. I can't believe that people still hate Mexicans, blacks, whites, Muslims, Asians, and more all hate each other for no reason other than they are different. Some people are full of hatred and just take it out on the closest target without thinking about it. But don't think that is all bad. Look at us, children from Kepner, here tonight. We are different from you, and we speak different languages and come from a different culture. But we think there is hope. We can make a difference. You can too. Think about how you react to the next time you see someone who is different from you. There is a human being there with the hopes and fears like you. I know that I have learned this from the Holocaust. I will try my best to do what I can, not spread the hate. Every time I learn something new about the Holocaust, it makes me want to keep learning. And from my learning, I hope I can teach others not to hate in some way, not to let something like the Holocaust happen again in my world. Thank you for your attention. My poem from Alexus Rivera. Life was happy, life was good, normal, until a time everything went wrong. People hated others just because. Yellow stars, posters, laws. For all people to see whom they were, it was supposed to represent them. It makes them feel like animals, treated differently. So few cared, so few did anything. When they were taken away, when the screams and noise reached the warm houses, no one did anything. At least it's not us. At least our family is safe. Separation, cold, hunger, going places no one ever expected, death, dying every second of the clock, crying in the wind for no one who cares to hear. Wait. One teenage girl pouring her life and soul into a diary, hiding from the light in a small crowded place. She was so hopeful of living to see the war end, never knowing she wouldn't make it. Thousands of lives taken away, stories that were never told. One survives the hatred, pain, death. Her story lives to teach us what you learned. When the war is over, the light returned, the pain was over, and was beginning new life all over again. But is it over? Is it beginning? You decide.